5 political activists from East Azerbaijan have gone on a hunger strike since Saturday the 13th of July in protest against their sentences of 9 years imprisonment. It has been 21 days since Mahmoud Fazli, Shahram Radmer, Ayat Mer Ali Buglu, Latif Hosseini and Behbub Golizadeh, the political activist prisoners, have been on hunger strike. Their families are completely unaware of the situation of their loved ones since they have been barred from telephone calls. Ayatollah Bayat Zanjani has requested that these prisoners end their hunger strike. The condition of the strikers has been reported as being critical. A letter of complaint has been written by political prisoners in relation to cruel prison sentences issued against dervishes. Not only did the signatories object to these irrelevant charges and the unfair sentences of the Gonabadi dervishes, but also they believe that their actions violate the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran, in particular Section 3 of the Constitution, which relates to freedom of thought and speech. Over the past week, the mother of Abdul Fazl Abedini visited him in prison and said, "I told him numerous times to break his hunger strike, but he did not listen to me, and his answer was, 'I will not break my hunger strike even if I die.' When they wanted to arrest my son, an army of security officers came into our house and were very disrespectful towards my family and my belongings. They beat my son in front of me, then took him with them. My son told me that he was beaten brutally in prison. What did my son do wrong for him to be beaten with cables and have bruises all over his body?" Several trade unions in Great Britain and Cyprus, together with Amnesty International, called for the end to repression of unions and for the release of labour activists in Iran. These trade unions and human rights organisations have also said that with the arrival of Hassan Rouhani's administration, they expect the union and workers' organisations of Iran to be allowed to operate freely. Reporters Without Borders issued a statement expressing their concern over the inhumane conditions faced by media activists in the prisons of the Islamic Republic of Iran. This organisation also warned against the attempt to cover up the murder of Sattar Beheshti.
According to reports, Ali Sadeghi, the Mashhad prosecutor, said that a person charged with insulting Imam Reza's shrine has been identified and arrested. He also said that, due to the person's mental disorder, he is now being cared for in accordance with the law and has been sent to hospital. On Saturday the 2nd of August, the trial of Ramin Rezai, Yadullah Dashti, and Ali Hedayati began in Mashhad Revolutionary Court, presided by Nia Movahedi, with the charges of spreading propaganda against the regime and membership in groups that attempted to undermine security. On Wednesday the 5th of August, after nearly 4 months of detention and imprisonment in the Intelligence Department of Mahabad branch, the first trial of Masood and Khosrow Kordpur was held at Mahabad Revolutionary Court with Judge Javadi Kia. In this session, the judge refused to grant bail, and it was decided that the next court would be at least 2 months away. At dawn on Sunday the 4th of August, an Azeri citizen, Peyman Ghane Kohneshahri, in Salmas city was hanged. The head of justice of Kerman city, Dad Khoda Salari, announced that a person is arrested in the city and is on trial accused of spying for Israel. Private sessions for Faizeh Hashemi, daughter of Akbar Hashemi Rafsanjani, was held on Wednesday the 7th of August in branch 15 of the Revolutionary Court by Judge Salavati, and it lasted for 105 minutes.
It is 2 months that Arash Nazirzadeh, a physics graduate student, has been inside Section 350 of Evin prison after his finalized verdict. This physics graduate student, who was studying in the UK, was charged with propagating against the regime, insulting the leadership, leading to 6 months imprisonment and 2 years and 6 months suspended sentence. Armin Khosravi, former Yasud University student activist and a leftist activist in the North Tehran Azad University, has been barred from 1 semester of a master's degree in sociology in a letter from the Testing Center of Higher Education.
Shamim Ettehadi, a Baha'i prisoner in the city of Yazd, was sentenced for 7 years and 3 months, 75 whiplashes, and a fine of 4 million tomans by the Revolutionary Court of the city. On March of last year, Shamim Ettehadi was arrested for sending a short video showing the destruction of Baha'i cemetery in the city of Yazd. It is 3 weeks since Muhammad Ali Taher, the founder of cosmic mysticism, has started a hunger strike. His physical and psychological conditions are poor. Mr. Taher's hunger strike, which coincided with Ramadan, was to protest against the shortcoming of officers and interrogators who were dealing with his case, and also mental pressure, threatening and intimidation on his family. On Wednesday the 7th of August, Mohsen Esmaili, Sayyid Ibrahim Bahrami, Muhammad Ali Sadegh, and Muhammad Ali Dehqan, 4 Gonabadi dervishes who are in Adilabad prison in the city of Shiraz, were sentenced by Branch 1 of General Court in the province of Kavar, led by Judge Kashkuli and lawyers Mr. Harsini, Nazari, and Sadeghi. These 4 dervishes were accused of attending protests intending to overthrow the government, waging war against God, and shipping illegal weapons. Mustafa Bordbar, a Christian convert, was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment on Wednesday the 7th of August by Judge Pirabadi, the head of justice in the Branch 26 of the Islamic Revolutionary Court. The head of security in the city of Isfahan, Mr. Abdulraza Aghakhani, announced the implementation of a special project for confronting with false mysticism during the months of Ramadan and the arresting of a few deviated youth perpetrators. The Global Forum on Human Rights in Iran released a statement to announce that Dr. Sayed Mustafa Azmayesh, manager of the International Human Rights Community Relations, explicitly rejected the drug-related charges brought by the Iranian judicial and security services against Gonabadi dervishes. Saeed Rezai, the former director of one of the 7 Baha'i communities in Iran, who is locked in Karat City prison, was returned to jail on Thursday the 8th of August, despite his poor physical health.
On Sunday the 4th of August, over 700 Kian tire factory workers gathered at the entrance of the factory located in Chahardang town in protest against the stopped production of the factory and for neither receiving their wages nor having their demands met. Furthermore, in the previous week, dozens of construction workers of Akhtar Rahid Janub affiliated with the Municipality District 6 in Ahvaz gathered in front of the Municipality District 6 in protest against not having received their demands and wages for the past 3 months. Mohammad Goudarzi, a Labour activist in Borouger, has reported the closure of the factory Saman Tile and the unemployment of about 400 workers who have not received any wages for the past 2.5 months. 310 factory workers in Tabriz tractor industrial machinery have not been paid since mid-April. Reports indicate that 130 contract workers of the company Kiavash Janub in the city of Ahvaz, which operate under the supervision of the Waterworks Council of the town, have not been paid since mid-March of this year. In addition to the 4-month delay in paying the salaries of the workers, their previous year's annual leave pay has not yet been paid to their accounts. 5 Kian tire workers were arrested after being summoned by the police. They included workers who often represent workers in negotiations with the government authorities. 300 alloy steel mill workers at Malaya have not received their wages for 4 months, and 50 temporary workers were dismissed at the factory. On Thursday, the 8th of August, the Secretariat of Labour announced that service workers employed in Zabol University of Medical Sciences in the city of Zabol have not been paid in 16 months. Englab Street booksellers Moniri Javed on University Avenue on Wednesday the 7th of August was shut down, with some of the shops being written on.
Masoud Bastani, a journalist, has been returned to prison again after a 2-week vacation. Qasem Ahmadi, a journalist and the editor of the student newspaper, Jorf, was sentenced to 4 years on Tuesday the 6th of August by the first branch of the Revolutionary Court. Employees of the editorial and technical part of the Sun newspaper in Iran have not been paid in the past 3 months. One of its reporters revealed that the rights of nearly 100 employees at the Sun newspaper have been denied and only promises of payment in 3 months remain. Khosrow Kordpur, a journalist and director of the Mokrian website, appeared in court. Masoud Jamali allegedly said to revolt in the website, and according to the prosecution is charged with insulting the leadership and activities of publishing lies against the ruling system, and promoted to the general intention of disturbing.
Over the past week, it has been reported Shahin Bayazidpour, second member of Bukhan City Council and a Kurdish woman activist living in Bukhan, was arrested some time ago by the Islamic Republic of Iran's intelligence forces and was transferred to the central prison of Urumia. Furthermore, Mariam Shafipour, who was arrested on Saturday the 27th of July, is being put under pressure to make a forced confession. It is notable that 3 weeks ago, security forces raided the home of this student activist and proceeded to search her house. Following the shock experienced from the attacks by security officers and the continued lack of information on the Mariam Shafipour's condition, her mother had to be moved to a relative's house in order to rest.
After over 50 days of being detained, Pejman Zafarman's investigators have not been allowed to examine his case files or been made aware of the status of his son. Attempts to try to meet with his family have so far led nowhere. Sayyid Ahmad Roghani Maliki, father of Hossein Roghani Maliki, was imprisoned as civil prisoners of conscience in Section 350 of Evin Prison on Saturday the 3rd of August 2013, after he was summoned to the Revolutionary Court. On Saturday the 3rd of August, Naveed Khanjani, a human rights activist from Rajai Shah prison, has been transferred to a hospital in Tehran due to back pain, heart, and breathing problems. In the past few days, the enforcement forces in the city of Ilam have attacked an area called Sarab, and as the result of that, confiscated a number of satellite dishes. According to the news, the traffic police in Fars province have threatened those who carry dogs in their cars and women who are not wearing hijab properly.